We are here with Don Ward, APA Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill League operator. Don, how are you?
Good.
Don, it's pretty crazy, over the last week. It was this time a little before. It was last Thursday.
Yes.
This storm, this Hurricane Helene, was bearing down on the Gulf Coast of Florida, ultimately hitting the they call it the Big Bend there in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't stop there. It really made its way. I think they said 500 miles now up right up the southeast, the middle of the southeast, and ultimately kind of leaving a path of destruction along the way. But amongst those communities that were hit hardest were some communities there in North Carolina, not necessarily where you are, right? You're
No.
kind of the Raleigh-Durham
Yeah.
area, but that western North Carolina, eastern Tennessee area got just pummeled. Is my understanding
It's
with
completely
floodwater.
devastating.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about, just from your perspective, kind of there in North Carolina, what you've seen, what you've heard, and then we'll talk a little bit how you ultimately are trying to make a difference and help some folks up there.
Sure. Well, I mean, obviously the social media and the news, it was pretty evident early on that Western North Carolina was going to have some problems up in the mountains area. And it's about a 3-hour trip from us here in Raleigh. So we were looking originally at trying to get some water and gas. I had a generator. It was just who could benefit from what we have. We're doing okay. What we found out was that the main interstate between here and Asheville, Interstate 40, is shut down. It got washed out in several spots, both the east side and west side of Asheville. There's a lot of towns up there, small towns that have no way of getting anywhere. So we just wanted to see if we could get something to them.
Yeah.
And so gas, we found out, wasn't an option because of laws. Water is tough because of everybody else buying it. So it's just what can we do?
Right.
We
So,
found.
I
Go
was
ahead.
going to say. So talk to us a little bit about what you guys are doing, because you basically have set up with a number of your host locations to become drop-off points for certain things, and then ultimately, you're going to be the person that gets those things up to primarily at this point, it sounds like Asheville, North Carolina, which is one of the communities hardest hit. But talk about kind of what you were able to set up and how your players and surrounding APA league areas are kind of helping the cause there in North Carolina.
Sure. So a lot of emphasis has been put on the Asheville area, and I just want to make note that there are so many small towns in and around Asheville that actually have been completely decimated. There's no way to get to them. There's no way to get out. What we found out is that there's an organization that's bringing in private pilots with small helicopters to do drops, pick up people, drop off supplies. And, you've got government and military vehicles and aircraft, but they're not small. And so these private helicopters are able to bring in supplies to areas that are just really, really difficult to get to. There was a story just yesterday. A lot of this is word of the mouth. They'll go to one drop and they'll find out that there's people another 10 miles in past where they are. They found 50 people that were cut off from everything, and they were able to get them out. So, the organization that we're donating to is Operation Airdrop. It's a private organization that helps with disasters, and they are set up with volunteers at a Walmart in Concord, North Carolina, and then they are shipping from there where they have all of their people to receive. They're weighing it, putting it onto trucks, and shipping it to other small airports where these private pilots can get it to the people in the most need.
Yeah. Yeah, and so folks can drop off at least in your league area or surrounding. They can drop them off at your host locations, and then you're actually going to be the guy that takes these things from your locations out to this drop-off point, right?
I've got an enclosed trailer, and I got a pickup truck, so we're just gonna go by these host locations and pick up what we can, and haul it up to Western North Carolina.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, it's one of the things that we always talk about with APA, and this, this applies in a lot of different ways in life, but it really is about more than just pool. Mm-hmm. It's about coming together. It's about community, and obviously a lot of members in some of these communities that have been affected. So, Don, it's fantastic to see that you're doing what you can to not just make an impact, but to make an impact quickly, right? Because, obviously these folks are going to have a long road ahead in terms of recovery and rebuild, but for right now, it's really about survival.
Yeah, absolutely. They're already saying that some of the passes of the interstate are going to be closed well into the latter part of 25.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's logistics.
Yeah.
It's getting things to people that need it now, and anything we can do, we're more than happy to do. We know we've got a lot of players up in that area. We just hope we can help.
Yeah. Well, we really appreciate what you're doing. We're proud of you, Don. Great job there, and I know it will certainly make a difference. And like I said, you're kind of living up to that more than just pool tagline that we like to throw around. So keep up the good work. Be safe.
Yeah, locally,
Go ahead.
Locally, we like to use the APA family, and the reality is, all of what I'm going to be taking up there is from them. So it's the players, getting the players involved, and letting them know that they can make a difference too.
Yeah, well, certainly a shout out to the folks, all the members there in the Raleigh Durham area for helping out their neighbors there, and we wish you safe travels when you're taking that stuff over. I know that may be a long trip, but be safe and keep doing what you're doing.
I appreciate it.
All right, Don. Take care, buddy.
Y'all take care.